Cybersecurity is not an IT problem. It is a leadership problem. It is on the desk of the owner, the CEO, the person making the decisions about where money goes, which vendor you work with, and what happens when something goes wrong. Welcome, everyone, to my podcast, The Pink Elephant, the podcast for business leaders who are done pretending they have got their cybersecurity handle. I am Alvion Legall, President and CEO of ABL Computers. And in every episode, we're saying the things IT conversations usually dance around. No jargon, no scare tactics, just the truth about what's sitting in your business operations right now and the simple steps you can actually take to deal with it. Let me ask you something. If I walk into your office right now and ask you to see your written information security plan, that's your WISP, your backup disaster recovery plan, your vendor compliance records, your employee access protocols, how confident are you that you could pull it up in the next 5 minutes? If you hesitated even a little bit, that hesitation, that's your pink elephant. You know it's there. It's been there for a while, but it's easier to keep moving and keep growing, keep doing everything else, and just not look directly at it. I get it. I really do. And that's exactly why we're here. This is episode 1 of the Pink Elephant podcast. And I want to start at the very beginning, not with a checklist, not with a horror story, but with a question that I think every business owner needs to sit with. What is the pink elephant in your business operations? Not in theory, not in someone else's business, in yours. By the end of today's episodes, you are going to know exactly how to spot it. And you're going to walk away with one practical step you can take this week. You have heard the phrase, elephant in the room. Everyone knows it's there. Nobody wants to talk about it. Cybersecurity is the pink elephant for most small and mid-sized business. It's visible. It's well documented. It's been in the news for years, and yet most business owners are operating today with major gaps they have never actually looked at. Not because they're careless or because they're busy, because it feels overwhelming, because somewhere along the way, someone told them it was an IT problem and IT would handle it. Here's what I want you to hear today. Cybersecurity is not an IT problem. It is a leadership problem. It is on the desk of the owner, the CEO, the person making the decisions about where money goes, which vendor you work with, and what happens when something goes wrong. One of the first things I hear from business owners is this: do I actually have to deal with this? And the honest answer is yes. Whether you're running a coffee shop, a financial service firm, an accounting practice, or a law firm, if you collect, store, or process any information about your clients or your employees, you are legally required to protect it. That changed. It's not optional. And the people who are still operating like it is optional are those I am most worried about. Let me give you a real example of what I mean. I was called in to do an assessment for a company. Let's call this company Lisa's Coffee Shop. On the surface, everything looked fine. they had some IT support. They were running. Nobody complained. But when we dug in, we found major security gaps that can bring their entire operation to a halt. So the task I had was to look at that and then calculate what how much money I had to calculate how much money will they lose within a single hour of downtime. That number was shy of $9,000 per hour. That wasn't a worst case scenario. That was just a Tuesday. And here's the thing that stuck with me. When I shared that number with the owner, he wasn't angry. They were quiet. Because for the first time, they have actually looked at it. They had looked at their pink elephant. So why do so many business owners keep not looking? I have had hundreds of these conversations over the years, and it usually comes down to three things. It feels too big. You open the door and suddenly you are looking at the list of things that you should have done years ago. It's easy to close the door. Another reason is that it feels too expensive. The assumption is that real cybersecurity costs a fortune, requires a whole team, and it will disrupt everything. That's not true. But it is a very common fear. Or it's been delegated. Someone on the team said, I will handle it. And the owner said, great. But nobody ever checked whether it was actually handled. None of these make you a bad business owner. They make you a human one. But the cost of not looking is real. And it compounds every single year you wait. Here's the mindset shift I want you to make today. Cybersecurity is not a destination. It is a journey. You will never arrive at a place called fully secured and stop. That's not how it works. But that's also not what the goal is. The goal is to be on the path, to be moving, to take the next step. There is a quote that I come back to a lot. The journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step. That is true for cybersecurity. You don't need to have it all figured out. You just need to stop pretending the elephant isn't there and take one honest look. Every episode of The Pink Elephant ends the same way, with one thing, one clear, non-technical steps you can actually do. Here is your step for this week. I need you to block out 30 minutes, just 30 minutes, and do an honest walkthrough of your business with this one question in mind. If someone wanted to access, steal, or disrupt the most important information in your business, what would they go after, and how easily could they get to it? Don't fix anything yet. Don't call anyone yet. Just write down what comes to mind. That list, that honest list, is the beginning of knowing your pink elephant. You can't address what you haven't acknowledged. This is step one. That's it for our first episode of The Pink Elephant. If this resonates with you, share it with another business owner who needs to hear it. And if you have got a question you'd like me to tackle on a future episode, send it my way. The best episodes comes from questions people who too are afraid to ask out loud. Next week, we're going to talk about why cybersecurity is a leadership responsibility, not an IT one, and what that actually means for the way you run your business. I am Alvion Legall. Thanks for listening. And remember, the first step is just acknowledging what's already in the room. Now close this app and go do the thing you have been avoiding. We believe in you mostly. Thank you.